Hello, everybody. Hello. I wanted to just jump on today. Let me get situated and get comfortable because this live stream is to thread or not to thread. So, for many of you, you have been seeing all of these black and white like things coming up on your screen. You've been seeing people sharing stuff, and Threads has taken over. Okay. Now, let me tell you what Threads is, because for some of you, you do not know what Threads is. And, I don't want you to feel bad if you don't know what Threads is. But the reason you don't know is they just released it yesterday. Okay. So Threads is basically Instagram's rival, Instagram's answer to Twitter. And it is made in the same type of way that Twitter is. And, I joined it yesterday with my Give It to the People account. Now, let me tell you something. In 7 hours, Threads was able to get 10 million users. Now, let me put this in comparison to you. When Facebook first started, it took them 835 days, I believe, in order to get 10 million users on Facebook. Threads got 10 million users in 7 hours. 7 hours. When I woke up this morning, Threads was over 50 million users in less than 24 hours. Crazy. But why? So what Threads is, it is a way for you to communicate with people. It is a way for you to do, and it's crazy because the things that I've been asking for is kind of like that's what Threads is. So I wanted to, on this Chisa page, which is why I didn't even create anything on that at first, I wanted to make sure that did I even feel like I wanted to put out any content, right? And so I just started with the Give It to the People page because that's the business page. We're trying to make money over there, so that makes sense. But Threads gives you the opportunity to not be seen, so you don't have to be all beautiful and glamorous, because it's like Twitter. You put out the photos and the videos that you want on there, and it is going to be in a chronological feed. And the other thing about Threads is it's more conversational, so it's more topics where people are just talking, similar to Twitter, because it's more like a microblog like Twitter. So I decided a few minutes ago to go ahead, maybe like 30 minutes ago or so, to go ahead and put up my Threads for Chisa, because Give It to the People was doing well. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not connected to the people, and I did something different. So I'm just going to give you some of the things that I did. On the Give It to the People one, I didn't follow everybody. I only followed a couple people, and then, people started following me. But it was easier to get people to follow because you had already built some type of audience on Instagram. And so those people could just follow you right on over to Threads. One thing, you have to have an Instagram account in order to have a Threads account. You can't do one without the other. So because of the fact that you have Instagram, when you go over to Threads, you can just pull over your bio and your picture and your contact information comes right up in Thread, or you could put something totally different there if you want to. But you can go from Threads and come right back over to Instagram. It is a separate app that you do have to download. So I just want you to know that. So when you say to thread or not to thread, I just had a consultation with some clients yesterday, and they were like, well, what do you think about this Threads, how it's going to do? Now, when you first join it, it's real blank. It's not giving when you first join it, because you need people to follow you and to communicate with you in order for it to be worth the interaction. Because when you first join it, it's a plain white screen and it's nothing happening, nothing popping. But once you start to post content, then people have something to reply to, and you can reply to people. So this is going to be some advice. Now, eventually I'll probably do a class on it, but it's 24 hours old. Okay. So this is groundbreaking news. And I wasn't even going to do this today, but I was like, okay, you cute, may as well go ahead and do this. So the thing about this is, and I'm just going to suggest what I would do, right, for you, is don't think about being so curated and everything having to be so beautiful and all of that. Think about being a thought leader and an influencer on that platform with the things that your people, your audience might want to know about. So I put out, a couple pictures of me that I took this morning and was like, well, what do you think about the new hair color? Now, I don't usually do that type of stuff on the Instagram, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like since Chisa Penix Brown was more lifestyle driven, and I want to give advice, and I want to, I want to love the people, I want to give it to the people, I was going to go in that direction. And I think that with any social media platform, you need to consider who your audience is and what you actually want from them, what you want them to do, because our goal should be to guide them somewhere so that they have some type of idea what they want to do. So I would say if you want to jump on now, if you have a great picture, throw that up there. If you have some type of quote, some type of something that may be profound, because what I've seen is the big influencers, they're probably, and I'm just going to say 100%, okay? They're probably using content that probably already did good on a Twitter or Instagram, and now they can regurgitate that same thing, because if they said good stuff and they got a lot of, hits and stuff before, why wouldn't they get the same thing now? So when you dropping a truth bomb on somebody, it's like, oh, whoa, okay, yeah, it's easy to like that type of stuff. Now, it's no hashtags in it yet. Like, you can still put them if you wanted to, but it's no hashtags in it yet. And you can follow people, but you can't follow like topics like you can on Instagram. So I would suggest go on there, let you create your own little profile, start following people, and actually use it. Because if you don't use it, then it won't be any good to you. Now, what this does is, it does add in another layer of something else that you need to do to market your business. But if you've been looking for something that's kind of like Instagram was when it first came out, where you don't have to be so stressed about how everything looks, I think for me, Threads right now is a vibe, because it's a feeling. I don't see anybody being negative yet. I feel like everybody has been really positive so far. And I feel like people have been putting out stuff that is there for the sake of engagement. So, when I put out certain types of content on Instagram, they are suppressing some of your content. Like, if you're not paying on Facebook and Instagram, it's a little suppressed. Now, let's understand this is a business decision. Let's understand that eventually we will be talking about Threads and saying some negative stuff about it, because it's just the nature of people, and it's also the nature of technology, and it's the nature of greed of, currency, people wanting to make money off of it. But do I think that you could very easily get people to come from Threads to come to your platform to see your stuff? Yes. Do I think that now you may reach a whole new audience? Because even though 50 million people have joined, it's a bunch of them 50 million people that don't know you. So I would suggest, if you want to use it in a way that is engaging and insightful for your brand. You know what I mean? Maybe give some tips out. If you have some memes that you want to put out, if you have something that was really great, a great picture that resonated well on Instagram that could resonate well on there, it's new to somebody. And so the thing is, your content doesn't have to be like super new and fresh, because some of the people on there haven't seen it. So I want you to think about this. Now, when you're using your Instagram now, everybody does not see your stuff, right? Like, they could be following you and they still will not see your stuff. Like, that is the reality of things. So if you really want to take into consideration using that platform to get people to find out what you do, I would say facts, I would say stats, I would say inspiration and motivation are definitely the way to go to get people thinking and to get them intrigued in relation to your brand and how they can be a part of your universe, of your world of being online. So that is, what I'm thinking about Threads. And the crazy thing is, to my clients yesterday, I said to them, listen, we'll see what happens, because it's about the engagement. And if you don't post, and then your people are not posting, and then they're not interacting, it's not going to be fun. But it will be probably funner once you get into that. And I've seen a lot of people on there already posting stuff, getting a whole bunch of likes and things. So this is my thing. It is more in favor of the people who are already celebrities and famous, because they're probably getting fans and followers faster than you are, right? But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you can't just tap into a whole new audience. So I would strongly suggest to thread or not to thread. It's totally, completely up to you. It doesn't cost you any money, but it will cost you some time. I think that it could get very addictive. I think that it's very, very similar to Twitter. And if you haven't paid attention, Twitter has already sent out a cease and desist for the app. But 50 million people, I think Twitter just mad. And I don't mess with Elon Musk anyway. So I mean, the things that I don't like about Twitter, hopefully they won't happen over on Threads. And part of this was he was trying to suppress people and say that they couldn't put out but so many posts in a day. So now you give somebody an opportunity who already has a platform that's a lot more playful, that's a lot more happy in general, to be able to, use that same idea. Like, I mean, it's working. 50 million people in 24 hours. crazy. It's totally ridiculous. So think about it like this. It's one more thing to add to your arsenal. You already have content. If you have something that already did well, use that and put it over there. If you have smart, insightful, wonderful things to say, use that and put it over there. You don't have to have a picture. You could if you want to. But I definitely think you don't have to worry about being so curated and perfect and pretty over there, because people might just like what you have to say. I mean, like, go figure. Like, they might just, oh, wow, that's great. That could be the case. So I'm just saying, to thread or not to thread is totally up to you. If you do not want to jump into anything else new, then that's all understandable. But there is some other stuff that's new as well. So you also have the other app, which is called Spill, which is a rival to Twitter, which is more like Black Twitter, okay? So when you talk about this and you kind of look at the new things that are coming up, what I don't like about Spill, first of all, it's only on iOS devices and I have an Android. So I can't get into it unless I use my tablet. So I haven't created a profile on Spill yet. And they have a waiting list for it. So they're doing it kind of like how Clubhouse had done in 2020. So, I mean, even though I understand that, I'm not really that, over the top with Spill, and people have to do invites and stuff. So they're going with that. But you put yours out at the same time that Instagram put out Threads, and it's like, I mean, Instagram is just killing everybody in 24 hours, right? So I don't even know how many users they're up to now. But when you look at the population of the world, we're at probably a good third or a good quarter of the population of the world, somewhere in there, right? And I don't know the whole population, but I'm just saying 50 million people is a whole lot in 24 hours. So that does not mean, though, that those 50 million people are using Threads yet, but it does mean that you can be one of them. So go ahead, create your account. It's free. It takes literally a couple of seconds, and then follow your people, and then reply to them and post something so they can reply to you. All right. So if you look inside of this thing, I put down what my link is, and it's Chisa Penix Brown. So the thing that makes it easy is whatever your name on Instagram is, that's what your name on Threads will be. So people don't have a hard time finding you, and they can also search for you. This will give you an advantage. Now, why do I say that? Because a bunch of people don't even know about it. And then the people that do know about it, you might have gotten your account, but if you're not using it, how is that going to help you? Okay. So I look at it kind of like this, and I don't know if you guys have used the app Hoova before, but Hoova is an app like when you're going to conferences, and inside of Hoova, people can ask questions, they can do polls, they can do all of that type of stuff. And so it kind of rewards you for being more engaged. So I'm saying for you, if you want more value out of anything, you have to use it, right? So like, it's kind of like you got a gym membership, but your ass ain't going to the gym. So yeah, the membership's there, but you sitting over here eating snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so think about it like that. Get it and use it and contribute. And if you put something on my stuff, I'll reply to your stuff. Okay. So this is not like a tit for tat. It's just saying, I want us all to win. So let's get on Threads if you feel like it, and let's make it happen. All right. So you guys, guess what? You always show up and show out, and continue to give it to the people. Have a great day, guys.